The chains that have us working tirelessly, that have us stressing, and these chains are our belongings. They don't have that. Your belongings is what's stressing you. Your belongings is what's making you unhappy and trying to hold on to them. Let them go. The things you own will one day own you. I can't remember where I heard that, but it resonates so much right now. If we talking about happiness, right? I've never owned more in my life, but I've never been more unhappy in my life. I look at happiness as freedom, right? Happiness equates for me to freedom, to being free. And it's where we are in this world right now. It's like the more you own, the more you're owned, right? Because a lot of the shit that we do, I'm not gonna say everything, but a lot of things that we do own is finance, right? So we finance a lot of things. That means we're in debt. We're indebted to whatever it is that we finance. And our world revolves around being able to keep those things that we're financing. And the same things that we wanted so much, we thought would make us so happy to have, to the point that we finance it, right? We give up future time, future freedom in order to potentially own these items, these belongings, because we thought it would make us so happy. We later find out down the line, these are the same things that make us stressed, that make us unhappy, that flip our world upside down, right? So how can you own so much but be so unhappy? So those things to me like correlate. They're like one and the same. They're one and the same. The more you own, the less happy you are. The more those things that you quote unquote own you. And again, I can't remember. I wish I could remember why I heard that quote, but I completely understand that quote now. And it just makes so much sense, because look how much opportunities we have to finance things. It's unbelievable. Like, it's unbelievable how much you can finance in this world. You can finance anything, because you just indebted to it. Like, you're indebted to the debt. You become a walking debt. And what does that make you do? You have to work. You have to work to whether it's to pay off the debt or to keep whatever you're financing, right? To hold on to those belongings, to the point that you're letting go true value, the true value of freedom, the freedom that you have. So the less you're owning, the better your life may be. Like, the better your life is. So sometimes you just gotta let go of those things. You gotta let go of those things that you do own to save yourself, to keep you, right? So it's either, do you rather have you or your belongings? And you can have belongings. It's just at what cost. You just gotta choose at what cost you want to have these belongings. And that's where I'm at. I'm in these vlogs. You can call them vlogs. That I do is really me having these epiphanies in real time. It's not me giving advice to anybody, but I'm realizing these things as I'm living my life, as I'm making decisions, as I'm bumping my head on the road from time to time. You get what I'm saying? You know, life has its ups and downs. But I'm realizing these things. I'm realizing, damn, I've never been more unhappy in my life. But yet I've never owned so much more in my life. But owning, especially when you're financing, it's an illusion, right? At what cost am I owning these things? I'm not really owning them. They're owning me, right? So if I'm financing a mortgage, 360 payments, 360 months of payments, I'm giving up 360 months of freedom, of my freedom, right? Because you can have a shelter, you can have a roof over your head. It doesn't have to be at the cost that I'm choosing it for it to be at the cost of, right? And it's just our wants, right? We have this idea that it's going to make us happy, right? buy, you know, when you first buy a house, you happy as hell. Like, oh man, I got the keys. You know, you take the picture with the keys and all that. And then 2 years, 3 years down the line, them payments is kicking your ass, right? You're stressed, you're unhappy, you're trying to, you know, find a higher paying job and all this other, you know. That's the reality of it, right? And you're trying to hold on to this thing. You're trying to hold on to this thing at the cost of your sanity, at the cost of your peace, freedom, right? And that's where, you know, it comes in. Like, do you own this thing or does it own you, right? And it really makes sense. It makes sense to me. So it's just realizing happiness is freedom, and freedom is less weight, right? And weight is these belongings that we hold on to, whether it be our cars, houses, all these unnecessary, I mean, they're necessary, but I mean, to what extent? Like the types, the lengths we go to, you know, we equate ownership to accomplishment, right? We want to accomplish things in our lives, right? Which is understandable. It definitely is. And we want to be at these certain places in our lives by this age and by this, by that. We want to have things that everybody else has, and it's cool. But you can't tie happiness to belongings. You can't tie accomplishment to belongings, because I'm sorry, y'all, my phone died. But so I basically say that to say, you got to let go of the things that you own that's costing you your happiness and freedom. Because if you're owning them at that price, then they own you. That's why I just keep going back to that quote. So, you know, house, cars, expensive items that really you're working hard to keep up with. Relationships, even relationships, the friends, significant others, and all that you're trying to keep up with, they own you. Like if it's at a cost of your happiness, those relationships own you as well. So if you want to be happy, you got to find the true value of your happiness, and it's not tied into what you think is tied into belongings. Your happiness is not tied to belongings. It don't matter what kind of belongings. Your happiness is not tied to relationships. It don't matter what type of relationship. True happiness is freedom. So freedom is it's not expensive, right? Sometimes, you know, you see people that are homeless, and they I hate to say this, but they're happy, right? Because they don't have those chains that we got, right? The chains that have us working tirelessly, that have us stressing, and these chains are our belongings. They don't have that. Your belongings is what's stressing you. Your belongings is what's making you unhappy, and trying to hold on to them. Let them go. That's how I feel at the moment. So yeah, just making this video. Just had a thought that I wanted to share with y'all. Like and subscribe. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you're subscribed, I thank you. Hit the like button. Share the video with who you think may need these words today. I appreciate y'all as always. Please make sure comment. Appreciate y'all. Peace.